We live in a very wild world. In the last few years, people are confused, people seem afraid, people are in not just afraid, but in fear and in anger. Things that are logical are actually considered illogical. Things that are truly illogical are considered totally reasonable. It's like, what is going on? So I asked this question a few times to myself, and in not only what is going on, but what's the solution to this? Come on, it can't. And as I step back and analyze it, it's very clear there's a major PSYOP going, and people's minds have really been affected. And this is where it helps to actually have some spiritual understanding. So the personality is a case of mistaken identity. Now that may seem strange, but when you understand that your personality has to do with how you see life, how you perceive what's going on, what makes you afraid, you begin to understand that people's minds have been really affected with fear, with confusion, with grief, with a sense of hopelessness. So what's going on? And the answer is all that is going on. That's what's in the airways. The real question is, how do we solve it? How do we turn this around? How do we get out of this thing? So, in essence, in the last few years, without any doubt in my mind, people are living in a self-induced media full court trance, where we believe we are the stories of what the media is presenting to us, and what our school is presenting to us, and what our government is presenting to us, and programs that make us susceptible to this from how we were raised. So it's like, okay, so we have this self-induced trance. And the question is, how do we get out of the trance? That's a reasonable question. How is it that our personality, our mind has been so infiltrated with so many dysfunctional ideas that we can't see straight, and the rate of suicide in our society is going up at least tenfold. How can that be? Well, the real question is, how do we get out of it? And I've developed a course called The 0 Point, where we really do understand that the personality is indeed a case of mistaken identity. So the point of the course is to help you undo those belief systems that have been programmed into your mind that are making you act in ways filled with fear and confusion and anger and illogical versus logical. That's the key, okay? You can think about a motorboat, and we're being driven by the wake of the motorboat. Of course, that isn't what really happens, right? You're never driven by a wake of a motorboat. You're driven by the motor. And so it's time to wake up. It's time to let go of that wake. It's time to let go of all that programming that is keeping us in a really dysfunctional mental state. And so this work called the 0 Point is a way of clearing all these dysfunctional thought forms and fears from our mind so that we can return to that deeper truth of who we are, to the peace of who we are, to the love of who we are, to the sense of oneness of who we are. And when we know that, life is changed. Life is elevated. We are again reconnected to our soul. And we have that deep peace and love that is who we are. That is the truth of who we are. So join me mid-October 2021 For a 0-point course, it's a 4-day course, go to drcousens.com. And all information you need will be there, and you can sign up and connect with the course. So until then, may peace be with you. May you truly understand that the personality is a case of mistaken identity. Just kind of get that. The personality is a case of mistaken identity, and we don't have to buy the program that's been instilled to us. We can transcend it, we can quiet the mind, and we can return to the truth of who we are.